Hey everyone, welcome back to another exciting episode of Attacker Productions. Today's another gas station video, so I have these free... No, it's not, but these are really amazing. And if you haven't tried them, try them. Alright, sorry, I was just eating them. Today we got a deck profile like always. There's buttons on below. Feel free to click them there for a reason, but if you clicked on the video, you know that this one is Goku. Some people are calling it Soul Striker Light, but it's actually really fun, very defensive, and as the archetype guy of our shop, I enjoy it and recommend that you trying it. So, Son Goku. On this particular leader, you get this effect either when you attack or when your opponent attacks your leader, which is pretty cool. But activate battle. If this card is in battle and you choose one Saiyan card in your hand and discard it, you draw one card, then you can add up to one card from your life to your hand, negate this skill for battle. The idea of this deck, if you're not familiar with it, is that in order to awaken, you need either 2 life, which is crazy, or you move 5 Saiyan cards from your drop area under this leader. That's the alternative awakening condition, which should be super easy to do if you're playing this deck the way they intended it, with just good Saiyans everywhere. So you want to discard a lot of cards, and we'll kind of go over those cards in a bit, but those cards have effects that allow them to be free comboed and yada yada yada. So, but once you've awakened, which in this case is a draw 3, then you switch one of your energies to active mode. Really cool. Son Goku, Crimson Warrior. Auto, when this card attacks, you draw 1 card, and you switch up to one of your mono blue energies to active mode. Pretty cool. And that's the quote-unquote Soul Striker Light element of it, or Soul Striker, when it swings, it retains 2 energy. Activate battle. Once per turn, place X cards from under this card to its owner's drop area. This card gets plus 2,000 power for the battle for each card placed in the drop area using this skill. Additionally, if you place 3 or more cards in your drop area using this skill, you draw 1 card and you switch up to one of your mono blue energies to active mode. I've kind of explained, in my opinion, this is like a countdown deck. Once you've awakened, it's like a 3-2-1 moment. I personally don't want to use this effect during my turn, but I like to use it during my opponent's turn as kind of a free resource of comboing, because potentially using this activate battle for just 1 card pitching it is a 7k combo in itself. So if your opponent kind of goes with 20k and goes, all right, cool, leave it at that. Boom, effect, you waste no cards in your hand, and now it's 22. But the 3-2-1 element is, once you get down to that 3 card in this leader, you want to make sure you use that for that secondary part of this effect, where you pitch 3 cards instead of 1 card. That way you're maximizing your energy, you're getting an extra card to your hand, and you're still getting potentially out of that a 11k combo power in case you need it. So let's get into the cards you want to use to search the cards you need. Yes, I forgot the first card I play in this deck is Great Saiyaman, Call of a Hero. When this card is played, you search top 5 cards of your deck for a blue Saiyan or Earthling card with energy cost of 3 or less, or a blue Unison Pacific cost of 3. I do play 2 Unisons in this deck with a Pacific cost of 3, so this can maximize that on both ends, which is pretty nice. But typically, you're just using this card to pull certain Saiyans to your hand. Now, realizing this light's kind of weird. No, it's that light. I have that light on. Whoops. All right, now I'm back. There was a glare. I figured out how to fix it, and then I figured out how to fix it after I forgot how to fix it. So, that's Great Saiyaman. And for side note, there's another card in this deck which really benefits off this card in more than one way, because this card also is considered a Son Gohan Adolescence, which we'll kind of cover that later down the road. So cards you want to put under your leader: 3 Trunks, 3 Gotens, and I'll kind of go over their effects in a second, 3 Vegetas, 3 Gohans, 2 Videls. Each of these cards have beneficial effects for being discarded from underneath your leader, and have alternative effects as well in case you need them for other purposes. So in case you've already awakened, you still have extra resources in this manner. So we'll kind of go over them one by one. So for Del, for example, is also a counter attack for 1 energy. You do need to burst a card in order to do this effect, though, which I personally do not like bursting a lot. So this is one, that's why I only play the 2 of. But if I have to use this as a negate, that's not a problem. The auto is that if you're, and this is what all the cards have, all the cards I just mentioned on their autos, if your SSG Son Goku Crimson Warrior is in a battle and there are no cards in your combo area, when your leader card places this card from the drop area to the drop area underneath it, you use this card as a combo from your drop area. And all these cards are 5k 0 combos. So like I said, it's initially either giving you a 7k combo boost off the leader's effect alone, or if you're doing the 3 card method, it's 11,000. Because If you were to pitch 3 of these cards, you're only getting the effect on 1 of them because the auto procs all 3. You activate 1, boom, now there's a card in your combo area. You cannot place the other 2 in there because there's already a card there now. The Vegeta, it's a hit or miss. I do like it as a protective method because when you use this card, when this card is used in a combo, choose it to one of your opponent's combo area, and choose one card in your opponent's combo area, and return it to the owner's hand. It's hit or miss because if you're doing that, you're giving them a card to use in a future attack, but at the same time, one combo card could potentially stop your opponent on a big swing because if they combo up, say, 2 cards, boom, 1 card got you out of that combo because you're using Leader's ability, or maybe they comboed with like a double strike chomp or something like that. You know, it's bouncing that card back to their hand. Yes, they can use it again, but it's protecting you in the moment. Goten, he's also a counter attack, but does not cost to burst on the counterattack effect, but if you choose to burst on its secondary auto, when this card is played, choose one of your opponent's battle cards energy costs greater than the current energy and return it to his hand. That is a burst too, but once again, if your opponent's playing big cards very early on, this could help remove those cards. It does put it back to their hand so they can reload it and they can use it later on the road, but the trunks right here are counter play cards, which play naturally, but the burst is where the auto comes into play. So burst 2, when this card is played, choose one of your opponent's battle cards, energy cost of 5 or less, return it to the owner's hand. It just helps get rid of problematic cards, especially if, like I said, if they're playing cards against you don't want to see. If they spend potentially 4 energy on a 4 cost card or whatever it is, or they fusion something out on the board, they're just putting it back in their hand, and that card that they fusion on top of goes to the drop area because it's already been established because it's the auto popping it instead. And truth be told, I'm thinking about changing the numbers a little bit and doing 4 Gohans. So Gohan's actually the best of all of them, but I played the ratios I need to because I need to see these cards in my drop area as well. So the Gohan is for 1 blue energy. If your leader card is blue at the end of a battle, which this card was used in a combo from your hand or drop area, you can play this card from your drop area in rest mode. So during your opponent's swing, you can use the effect, put this card in your combo area, pay 1 at the end of the battle, boom, now you have another battle card on your opponent's established during your opponent's turn. Cards to help get these cards into your drop area. Legend, the SSG. It can come in clutch if you need to. Activate main, you burst 1. If your leader card is blue, choose up to 1 blue sitting in your hand. Discard, then you draw 2 cards, so it allows you kind of get to see cards you need. May put a say in your drop area. Once again, though, it is a burst effect. So when you do this, just be careful, and hopefully you don't burst something you need later on the road. So that's kind of the engine that you need for the leader's abilities. The next card, you kind of need those cards in your drop area. So, Goku, Harness Power. Auto at the end of the battle, which this card is using a combo from your hand, play this card from your drop area. In rest mode, it is 1 energy to combo. It's a 10k combo card. Do it during your opponent's turn. That way you're playing it during your opponent's turn. It is a 14k, so if you establish it, your opponent could potentially attack it, but try to maximize your energy. Activate main. Once returned for 3 energy, you place 1 Gohan Adolescence, 1 Goten, 1 Vegeta, 1 Trunks, and 1 Trunks Youth, and 1 Videl underneath this card, and you can play the 6-drop from your hand. There's a 6-drop. 6-drop can also be played as a negate, which is pretty cool. And if it's your opponent's turn 3 or higher, it is 3 energy to negate with, because during your opponent's turn, reduce the energy cost of this card in your hand by 1 for each card in your opponent's energy. Secondary permanent, this card is pretty much a deadly defender with 4 keyword skills: deflect, unique, triple strike, and barrier. It is coming onto the board, it is staying on the board. And when it's in rest mode, your opponent's battle cards can't attack your leader. Let's go into our Unisons. Vegeta. It has Empower 3, which is pretty cool. So if you have another Unison board and you play this card, those markers kind of carry over up to 3. Plus 1 activate main, you draw 2 cards. Then you choose 2 cards in your hand and place them in the bottom of your deck. This allows you to cycle cards that you need. This comes in super handy, especially when you're trying to find key cards for late game plays. You just kind of draw 2. Cool, I need this, but don't need it now. Hang on to it. Just pitch a card that's useless in this current matchup. The -X is pretty nice for bouncing cards and giving this card 10k plus double strike. So for every 2 markers you remove using this card skill, choose up to 1 of your opponent's battle cards, place in the bottom of the owner's deck. Additionally, if you remove 4 more markers from this card, you could this card gains +10,000 power and double strike. This is an activate main effect, which is kind of annoying because you're taking away potentially 4 markers from this card, make it a 25 double strike. But you're bond decking 2 of your opponent's cards, which is pretty nice and could be helpful during their crackback. They have less battle cards coming at you. But it is 4 markers to do. And if you do it with only 5 markers, you kind of ruin your counterplay trunks. 2 of the SS3 Gojitas because they're really good for decks that involve Saiyans. Dual attack, 20k. If your leader card is Blue Saiyan, and you have a Blue Saiyan card in rest mode, your leader card doesn't take damage from attacks. That's just really good. Like I said, this deck plays tons of Saiyans. Activate main, so this is -1. Choose up to 2 of your opponent's battle cards, return them to the owner's hand, then choose up to 1 mono blue Saiyan card with original energy cost of 2 or less in your hand and play it with its skills and get it per turn. There are some 2-drops in here that can work for that, but outside of that, just kind of use it for pressure purposes. Counterplay. Guys Silly Trunks. It's good. New counterplay for blue decks. SS Vegeta. What's great about this one that it is still 3 energy to play it, but it's a dual attack 20k. It is a counter. Sorry, not counterplay. It's a counter. If your leader card is blue, you play this card. The auto when this card is played, choose 2 of your opponent's battle cards and place them at the bottom of the owner's deck in any order. As long as it doesn't have barrier, you're able to target that card. But for 3 energy on a deck that likes to restand energy, that's not bad in my opinion. For some defensive measures, we play 3 of the blocker Goku for 1 energy because if you have 3 or more, if your leader is Blue Saiyan and you have 3 or more energy, you play this card from your hand and you draw 1 card. We don't worry about the activate main because our leader's not Trunks. But it's a deflect blocker, so it is coming out in play. And like I said, it's 1 energy. You can awaken really at any point in this deck as long as you acquire Saiyans. So we play 1 Chill's Army just in case we get stuck at 5. It helps us get out of it. Or you can pay 2 for it. It's a negate that plays a blocker for you. Going to the deck super combos. I mean, I would love to play the really good blue super combo, which, you know, bottom deck 1, draw 2. But that's Vegeta GT, not Vegeta. So we go with Videl, gives us more targets for the 3-drop Goku as well. Since because blue likes to restand energy, and it's just really good for defensive plays. Because we like to restand energy, we play 1 Mafuba. It could come in handy. 4 the Magics, because we like to play defensively. 2 Baby Apes, because why not? Earlier this week, I had a video where I was able to establish 2 of these in 1 game. Like I said, just because the deck likes to draw, likes to look at cards, and get rid of cards you don't need. I knew in that matchup that this would come in really handy, so I kept every time I saw them, I kept them. And because it's blue, Baby Hatch. Yeah, that's just really good. So overall, Goku, in my opinion, going off the archetype base, it's just a really fun defensive and then pivot type deck, in my opinion. At least the way I play it is. So I hope you all enjoy that. And if you have a build that you've done with this deck, let me know in the comments how you take it. And read your cards and your play stuff out.